We'll start with the Rangers and Hurricanes. The Rangers win both at home. The home team is undefeated 4-0 in the series. Carolina is minus 140 for game 5 back in Raleigh. The Rangers plus 120. The over under, once again, at 5.5. It's under in this series. The series money line is Carolina minus 145, Rangers plus 125. And a couple interesting notes here. One, game 2 in Raleigh, which came on the heels of a less than impressive Carolina win, was minus 163. The Hurricanes closed. So we're already seeing a significant adjustment off of these two games at Madison Square Garden, and it's hard to argue with it. The Rangers were, they got out of game 3. They were relatively lucky. I wouldn't say that Carolina dominated that game. They had the better chances at 5-on-5 and were undone. Like you said, like the Rangers blueprint, right? Get good goaltending, score a power play goal, and hope it's the difference. And that worked in game 3. And then game 4, the Rangers were, the ice was just tilted. They were the better team. Carolina was undisciplined in the first period. That allowed the Rangers to keep them off their rhythm and get their power play going. Next thing you know, it's 2-0. And that's going to be enough for Igor, especially with the way Carolina is generating offense right now, which is to say they're not. So do you think that this adjustment going down from the Rangers plus 140, where they closed in game 2, to plus 120 for game 5, is that an overreaction? Is it just right, an underreaction? And how are you playing this one?
You never want to overreact as the games in this series go on, but I am starting to change my tune a bit on the Rangers here. And in this series, I am starting to kind of come around on them a bit here. On the surface, the adjustment from the late plus 140s closing on games 1 and 2 to the mid 120s that they are for game 5, on the surface, it looks like a big adjustment, but I do agree with it. Even though the Hurricanes were better in the last 4 periods in Carolina, the Rangers were right there, essentially making the result coin flips. As long as Shesterkin is back to his form now, which he clearly is, I'm not seeing anything that makes me think that the Rangers can't continue to make these games a coin flip game. I'm not arguing that Carolina, with Carolina being the better team, I've always maintained that they are, but I am starting to change my outlook in the sense that I just want these games to be a coin flip, and I think Igor gets me there. I suspect this line will probably get higher on the Hurricanes, which does give me interest in the Rangers. At mid plus 120s, I am almost there, but when we go a little bit higher, I will get there, and I will most likely have a play on the Rangers in game 5.
Yeah, it's been a very sluggish series for the Hurricanes forwards. They're supposed to be a deep team that can beat you because they can roll 4 lines. They basically have parts of one line working right now. It's been really just a pretty ugly effort. You do expect them to improve off of what we saw from them in game 4, you could say the third period of game 3 and game 4, in game 5. But the Rangers are just a team that has turned into like you said, a good team in rock fights, very Dallas Stars kind of what we saw in round 1, where if you're the underdog, you're on the road, just kind of sit back and absorb and stay in the game as long as possible. We'll see. I'm really interested to see where this number goes, because it does seem like the Rangers, we always say you got to treat every game as this individual kind of phenomenon in these series. But the Rangers clearly are the team that are going to have the momentum from outside onlookers. So we'll see. And the other thing to keep in mind here is this is the second time that a series has played out this exact fashion for Carolina. They've won 2 home games against the Bruins. They looked great. Went to Boston, kind of came unglued a little bit, went home, won game 5, went back to Boston, lost game 6, and then won game 7. So they're undefeated at home and haven't won yet on the road. At some point, something will have to give, you'd imagine. And we'll see what happens for game 5.